Hello, I am Professor Kino, and welcome to my office of cinematic antiquity. Today I'm finally going to start reviewing films that are in the theater right now, and today's film is... Mixing politics and film can be a slippery slope. The last thing that some people are after when trying to enjoy a film is to feel like they are being preached to. One director that has never really cared about this, though, is Spike Lee. While some directors might be recognizable due to their unique visual style or dialogue choices, a Spike Lee film is recognizable by its open commentary on racism, black power, and liberalism. And BlacKkKlansman is no different. Premise: the first African-American police officer of the Colorado Springs Police Department, Ron Stallworth, makes it his goal to infiltrate and bring down the local branch of the Ku Klux Klan. Writing: first things first, this film holds no punches with its political issues. Lee had a clear reason in mind when he made this film: to showcase the insanity of white supremacist groups, boggle at the ability of these groups to persist, and lament the pain that they have caused countless people across the US and the world. Lee is unforgiving in this crusade, and for some, this will feel both necessary and inspiring. However, others might find it too aggressively political, particularly for those who do not see eye to eye with what this film is trying to present. This is a film with an agenda, and it is not afraid to push it forward.
What can I do you for?
Well, since you asked, I hate blacks. I hate Jews, Mexicans and Irish, Italians and Chinese. But my mouth to God's ears, I really hate those black rats. And anyone else, really, that doesn't have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins.
I'm happy to be talking to a true white American.
God bless white America.
Politics aside, however, how well is this film written? It is really solid. The film juggles suspense, intrigue, and humor excellently. At times, I found myself holding my breath, and then at other times, I found myself giving a soft chuckle. Nothing ever felt like it went too far to one side, and it all meshed together nicely. Similarly, the progression of the story felt natural and smooth. There was a clear 3-act structure here, and while the film clocks in at 2 hours and 15 minutes, it didn't feel like it. Additionally, the film does not drag out its ending and concludes first with a laugh and then with a final political punch that was thought-provoking, eye-opening, and quite ballsy on Lee's part. While not everyone will like it, it is refreshing to see a director take such an open and direct stance on a political issue without trying to cover it up or shade it as something it isn't. Despite this, though, there were a couple flaws, namely that the film at times does feel only surface level. We don't really get to know too much about each character besides their role in the KKK job, and sometimes it feels like there are some missed opportunities here that could have delved even deeper into the story. For instance, at one point Flip, Ron's partner in the case, calls Ron out by saying how he is being really risky because Ron doesn't see the KKK mission as a job, but as a crusade. This is a very interesting point, but it is an idea that is never really returned to, at least directly. Perhaps doing so might have made the film feel too bloated or too exposition heavy, and while the lack of it doesn't harm the flow and purpose of the film as a whole, instances like this one do feel like missed opportunities. However, the film is still written very well, and despite my few tiny nitpicks, does an excellent job at tackling some important social and political problems. Acting. This is stellar across the board, and everyone works together to make a great ensemble cast. From John David Washington being spectacular and believable in the lead role as Ron Stallworth, to the always amazing Adam Driver playing his partner Flip Zimmerman, to the inspiring Corey Hawkins and Laura Harrier as Kwame Ture and Patrice Dumas, to Ryan Eggold and Jasper Pekonen playing very convincing KKK members Walter Breachway and Felix Kendrickson, all the way to Topher Grace as David Duke, the Grand Wizard of the KKK. Everyone is perfect, and they all bring this film alive with flying colors. Costumes, hair, and makeup. This film looks like it's straight out of the early 1970s, which is perfect because that's when the film takes place. Colorful clothes, afros, bell-bottoms, tucked-in shirts, the whole package. The costumes, hair, and makeup really help to create this film's setting. Set design. Just normal buildings most of the time, nothing too grandiose or stunning. And this is not a bad thing because the film is not supposed to be flashy. It is supposed to take place in real life, and because of that, the sets are perfect. Choreography. There is not much to talk about here. There are no intense action sequences and only one dance number. And as for this dance number, it is nothing fancy. It is a dance between Ron and his love interest Patrice in a club set to Too Late to Turn Back Now by Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose. It is a beautiful scene, but mostly features close-ups of the dancers in quick succession, so the choreography is not really noticeable. But what is visible is well done. Cinematography. In a word, solid. Everything is framed professionally, albeit not in a standout way. It looks nice most of the time, and I have nothing really bad to say about it. Editing. Very solid as well. No shot happens too fast or lingers too long to seem uncomfortable or weird. The transitions feel natural, and I didn't notice any continuity issues between the various shots. And there was also one standout scene when the KKK and the prominent civil rights group of the film are both having a meeting simultaneously, and the scene keeps cutting back to each group in order to provide a very cool and insightful juxtaposition between the two groups' differences. It was very coolly done. CGI. Nothing to mention, as there didn't seem to be any. Music. The general background music by Terence Blanchard was secondary to the movie, which was fine. I didn't notice it too often, and it never overpowered the scenes that it was in, but when I did notice it, the music was solid. The film also features quite a large number of licensed songs that fit with the film as well. A big chunk of them were straight from the era, which was nice and helped to create the setting that the film takes place in. Some of these include Too Late to Turn Back Now, Oh Happy Day, and Brandy. It is a nice mix of music that features pop songs that really set the mood, the themes, and the setting of the film.
It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love.
Direction. Spike Lee took all the elements of this film to create a period piece that focuses in on a very significant and fascinating piece of African American and racial history in the US. It is intense, it is funny, it is insightful, and it is obvious how passionate Lee was about this project. He definitely knew what he wanted to accomplish with this film, and he delivers on all fronts. If you don't agree with Lee's viewpoints, you probably won't get much out of this film, but I doubt that Lee would really care. He has a very strong and passionate political view, and he is unafraid to express it loudly and fervently. And for that, I think Lee needs to be both respected and commended. My enjoyment. I think I only ever saw a brief piece of a trailer for this film before I saw it, but I remember being intrigued by what I saw. I've always liked Lee's work, so I knew I would probably like this one as well. However, I didn't just like BlacKkKlansman, I loved it. I thought it was inspiring, hilarious, intriguing, and all around stupendous. This is definitely one of my favorite films that has come out this year, and I cannot wait to see it again. Recommendations. I know deep down that not everyone will enjoy this film, particularly in the way it treats some more modern political issues. If you have always been a fan of Lee's work, you will definitely come out of this film having had a good time because it is one of his most moving films in a while. However, if you are the opposite and have never seen eye to eye with Lee, then this film will do nothing to win you over. Nonetheless, I encourage everyone to give this film a shot because no matter how much you agree with its messages, it is quite the experience. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I'm Professor Kino, and I look forward to our next discussion.